You're listening to the Thriving Mindfully podcast. I'm Ananda Leek, your Thriving Mindfully coach and podcast host. I'm also an artist, an author, a human design doula, and an interfaith reverend. The Thriving Mindfully podcast is a heart-centered, digital sacred space that I created to inspire and empower you to be present, well, and the real you. Tune into the latest conversation I've been having with myself and others about nurturing, transforming, and celebrating our lives, relationships, and career. Today, I wanted to talk about the fourth core commitment of the Thriving Mindfully heart-centered approach to being present, well, and the real you. And if you're just tuning in and learning about Thriving Mindfully, I want to tell you just a little bit about how it has come to be in my life, in my relationships, in my career, in my business. Thriving Mindfully represents how I have been able to be, to live, to love, to learn, to grow, to discover and evolve, and to create, and to serve and support and celebrate. All of those things. You could tell that I love words, and I'm a writer, maybe from the way that I talk. But Thriving Mindfully started to show up in my life in 1992 when I made some choices to live from the inside out. And because the universe gave me several opportunities to pause for periods of time from up to a year to 18 months throughout those 3 decades, I've been able to reflect and take time and look back and see what Creator, my loving, wise, and well ancestors, my spirit guides, my master teachers, my angels, my Yoruba Orisha have given me and helped me through their wisdom and their source and their support and their love and their energy to walk through this world and to do it with ease, to do it with joy, to do it with awareness, to do it with acceptance and abundance. And it's a lifelong, day-to-day journey, and I am a work in process as I continue to walk out Thriving Mindfully in my spirit, in my relationships, in my health, in my finances, in my home, in my creativity, and in the services that I provide to folks just like this podcast, and I'm serving you with it. So serve through your living. This is how you show up in the world and you offer your gifts and your talents and your expertise. Whether you do that in an organization, a business, one that you own or someone else's owns, or it's a partnership, whether you serve in a community, an organization that you volunteer with, a church, a spiritual center. It is how you are able to support humanity with gifts, things that only you are good at, things that you have learned to do, things that you have studied. All of that is included in serve through your living. And so before you can even begin to serve through your living, you need to be able to serve yourself. And this is something that really just came to me in understanding, a divine download, if you will. And what I'm grasping that phrase means to me, and I want to invite you to let it land in your spirit, in your heart, in your mind, in your body, and see what it means to you. That's the beauty of Thriving Mindfully. It is a heart-centered approach that starts from the inside out. It is meant to be a framework, a guide to help you identify your core commitments. And if you want to use the ones that I've created, go for it. But I encourage you, sit with what I share and see what resonates with you, and only take what works for you. And if it doesn't, that's okay. So back to serve yourself. Serve yourself with your own living. It starts with grounding yourself, making sure that you are prepared to take action in your life. And everybody has a different way of preparing. Everyone has a different way of taking action. And so I want to just share some of the things that I've been doing in my life and what I've been sharing with my coaching clients, my organizational clients, and with the Thriving Mindfully Academy members. So serve yourself. Serve you through your living. Gets to a place of how are you taking care of yourself in a way that allows you to have the energy, the awareness, and the ability to serve others with your gifts. And for me, it's starting with just the basics. And the basics for me are, am I grounded in my spirit? Am I spending time daily to connect with spirit? That's my creator. It may be your higher power, whatever you call your higher power, if you believe in a higher power. And it's okay if you don't. But how are you getting yourself grounded so that you feel ready to move through the world? And you may not always feel ready to move through the world, but have you made a connection with yourself? And for me, that begins with the breath. That begins with gratitude. That begins with prayer. That begins with some spiritual practices that I use in my life. Journaling, reading devotional material, listening to high vibration music. It could be sound healing using my ocean drum, my koshi chimes, my sound bowls, or listening to a sound healing on YouTube. You get what I'm saying? Some music, something that's going to get me still and get me connected to myself. It happens with meditation. It happens with a mindful moment, which is just a simple deep breath in, where I make my breath my BFF, and an out. It is drawing sometimes and letting what needs to come out in my creativity. But you get what I'm saying, hopefully. Making a connection with myself through the power and the presence of my Creator. Asking, this is how I prepare myself, asking for and giving thanks for the support, the wisdom, the source of all that I am and all that I have and all that I do, from the Creator, from my loving, wise, and well ancestors, my angels, my spirit guides, my master teachers, and my Orisha. I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm just giving you some examples of how I prepare myself to be grounded so that I can serve myself first. It comes from physical movement in the form of yoga, in the form of different stretches, in the form of walking, the form of exercising. This morning I went for a walk before I went to the grocery store to pick up a few items. And I decided, since I signed up for tennis that starts in May, to build up my aerobic ability in my knees, that I would climb the steps in front of this Masonic temple in my neighborhood. And I did 2 rounds of it today. That was just to get started. So just to raise my heartbeat and to work up a little sweat. So movement, physical movement, and doing whatever your body calls you to do and allows you to do. It comes from anointing my body with oils. I was recently in Salvador de Bahia, and I had a reading with a candomblé practitioner, and she makes beautiful oils and bath and body products. And I got one for my Orisha Oshun to help me tap into the joy, the pleasure, the sensuality, the creativity of my spirit and in life. So I'm anointing my 7 chakras, and if you're into human design like I am, I anoint all the areas of my body that are connected to my human design. So that's another thing. Really taking time to notice nature, like when I'm out walking, touching trees, hugging the trees at times, noticing what's around me, giving thanks to nature. So gratitude is a major practice for me, and preparing myself. Another way that I prepare myself to take action and to serve myself first before I can serve others is I'm a true daughter of Oshun. And if you're into the Yoruba Orisha, you know that Oshun is the goddess of sensuality and beauty and joy and pleasure. And I'm a lipstick girl. I'm a lipstick girl from way back. And so I make sure that I put on my lipstick. That is how I prepare myself. I also prepare myself to serve myself before I can do anything else for others by setting an intention of how I want to show up in the day. That often happens when I am in prayer and meditation. Sometimes it happens, later, but it happens. I set an intention, and sometimes I have to set multiple intentions throughout the day. Shit happens. You get off track, you lose your focus, or you find that, hey, you need a little extra support and help. And an intention is a statement of how you want to be, So serving yourself may sound self-centered, but I want to ask you, how can you serve others if you aren't prepared to take action in a grounded way? I mean, it's wonderful to have gifts, talents, expertise, experience, but if you are running all over the place and you don't have an awareness that you're running all over the place, and that you don't have the energy, you haven't gotten your sleep. That's another way that I prepare myself to serve and to take action through service. Getting the sleep. And I've struggled with that. To be really honest, I struggled with it a lot during 2020, 21, 22, especially in 2020 and 2021 with the pandemic. I just had fears of I would die, or, just not being able to see family, lots of stresses. And you may have had that too, and you may still be dealing with that, or you may have anxiety, other things that are happening that are robbing you of your sleep. And what I learned to do during that time is I turned my living room. I have a Moroccan daybed that I have decorated over the years with different patterns of pillows and blankets and stuff. And I turned that Moroccan daybed into my chill lounge. And that chill lounge became a place where throughout the day when I wasn't getting my sleep, I could take naps. I could take naps. I'm fortunate that I have been able to work remotely in a large part of my career, in that I have the capacity and the freedom to make my schedule on many days so that I'm able to nap when I don't get the sleep at night. And that's what I learned to do during the pandemic. I also learned how vital it was for me to listen to high vibration sleep music from YouTube. I would have it playing in the living room and have my door in my bedroom closed so I could hear the music. And I would let that music soothe me. Even having a sleep routine of burning some incense or a candle, taking a shower, using different essential oils to slow myself down, to calm myself down. Drinking tea. One of the things that I have been doing since the pandemic is using Blue Lotus tea, and it really is something that helps me sleep, helps me dream vividly. And when I wake up, I was telling my friend Garnet recently that when I drink it, the next morning, I'm able to clearly take in what spirit and my loving, wise, and well ancestors are telling me, and the angels and the spirit guides and the master teachers in my Orisha. I'm able to take it in without stopping myself, censoring myself, and then I'm able to prepare. So those are some of the things that I do to prepare myself to be grounded. Another thing that I wanted to share is using affirmations. I've used affirmations since my mentor, C's Little, hipped me to them in 1992. C's is no longer with us in the physical world, but he's very much alive in the spirit world. And he taught me and introduced me to affirmations. And I've used many different types over the years. But yeah, affirmations. I am statements in the present tense about who you are and what it is that you truly, truly desire, what you're called to be and do, see, experience. Yes, affirmations. Well, another way that I prepare myself to take action through service to others is by looking at what I'm eating, what I'm putting in my body. I recently made a commitment during it's a Lenten season when I'm talking now, and I like to use the Lenten season, those 40 days, to recommit. And one of the things that I decided to do was to recommit to being mindful about what I put in my body, and most months, most days, I'm a vegan. I do slide into the pescatarian world when I am around some crabs, or I am in a country like Brazil, or I'm in the town of Annapolis, or I'm at my mama's house and she might have some crabs. I grew up in the state of Maryland, so crabs are a part of my existence. And I give myself space and a pescatarian meal ticket to go into that space periodically. But yeah, most times I'm a vegan, and have been vegan, vegetarian since 92. Dipped into pescatarian life for a minute. and I make visits periodically when I feel the need to. But yeah, what I put in my body, I wanted to make sure that I let go of the caffeine. I let go of some of my favorite non-dairy products like oat milk. It causes eczema. I have to be careful about that. I was drinking coffee, decaf. It has a little caffeine in it. Between the chais and the decaf coffee and some of the wonderful pastries, a sister, got a little winter weight and got some mucus in my system. So I'm just taking this winter to spring transition, this Lenten season, to cleanse the body and get tuned up with my food, with how I eat, intermittent fasting throughout the day, most days, and with an increase in strength training and aerobic activity and stretching and yoga. Yeah, preparing for tennis season. Yeah, I'm a beginner tennis player, so that's how I've been preparing myself. And the other thing I wanted to share is grounding myself by looking at how much pressure I put on myself from thinking that I have to be a certain way or I have to do things a certain way, especially in my business, and comparing myself and really looking at how hard I am on myself and making a deeper commitment to being soft as fuck with myself. That is one of my areas of growth. One of my areas of growth is the self judgment, the criticism, the not being kind to myself, which is why I go so deeply into saying, let's normalize softness with ourselves. That's really me preaching to myself. And if you get something from it, amen, ashe, aho, and so it is. That's a beautiful thing. The one last thing that I wanted to say too is taking moments in my day to give myself grace and to hug myself and to let myself know that I'm doing the best I can where I'm at and that I can always, grow, but to celebrate. And self-celebration is the fifth core commitment of Thriving Mindfully. That's savor your living. And I'll talk about that in another podcast in the coming weeks and months. But right now, just making sure that I let myself know that I'm proud of myself for how I'm showing up and how I'm handling things. So, preparing yourself to take action through how you serve through your living. Serve yourself first. That's what we've been talking about. I want to hear what you think about all of this. So wherever you find this podcast, hit me up, leave a comment. If you're on social media and you hear this or some parts of this, leave a comment or send me a DM on Instagram or LinkedIn. You can find me at Ananda Leak on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and TikTok these days. That's where I'm hanging out the most. You can also go to anandaleak.com. Stay tuned for some special messages that I have for you, some offerings that I think you might be interested in. Take care. See you next time. Spring is coming. Spring is coming. Spring is coming. If you're listening to this in March of 2023, spring is coming. Or maybe it's sprung by the time you've heard this. Let me tell you, the Thriving Mindfully Academy is getting ready to take action. We're preparing to take action. We're looking at how we can tap into our inner resources, how we can access what we've been given inside of ourselves with the support of our higher power, if you believe in a higher power, our loving, wise, and well ancestors, our spirit guides, master teachers, and angels, if you tap into all of that. For me, it's also my Yoruba Orisha. So I bring all of those spiritual entities into my source of how I'm able to prepare and to take action as this new season enters into our lives. I want to invite you, if you're in the DC area, to come to the Thriving Mindfully Academy's Soft as Fuck session on March 26th from 2 to 3 p.m. at Key Kratom CBDT, 1517 U Street, Northwest in DC. The investment is $23. You can go to anandaleek.com/soft. It is an afternoon of meditation, reflection, some sound healing with yours truly, my Koshi chimes, my ocean drum, my sound bowls will make an appearance to help get us grounded in our meditation. It is an invitation to journal, to set intentions, and to share if you feel called to in a safe community. We're looking at how we can prepare and take action as we move into the spring season. The spring equinox is on March the 20th, and we're meeting on the 26th of March to welcome the spring and to look at how we can prepare and take action from the inside out. So join me. One of the ways that I've been able to prepare myself and to take action from a grounded place in my body, in my breath, in my life is through human design. Human design is an amazing self-empowerment, and it's IN-POWERMENT, empowerment, because it's from the inside out. It's a self-empowerment and self-discovery tool that was introduced to me in 2021 through a coaching experience. And over the past 2 years, I have experimented with it and integrated it into my life, my relationships, and my career and my business. And it is a lifelong journey. It's a lifelong experiment. I am now bringing it into a space where I'm offering it to folks like you to support you in preparing yourself and taking action in your life, your relationships, and your career and business. It marries my Thriving Mindfully, heart-centered approach to being present well in the real you. And I use it with my coaching clients. I use it with the Thriving Mindfully Academy members. And now I want to invite you to explore it with me as your human design doula. In human design, you are called to give birth, if you will, to yourself, the real you. And we do that every single day. We do it every single moment. We get 1,440 minutes each and every day. And in each minute, you're birthing yourself. I mean, you're always changing. You're always growing. And so in order to navigate that process. I'm here acting as a doula, someone who can midwife you through this experience, help you understand what human design is based on where you are in your life, help you take the parts of human design that resonate with you the most, because at different times, different things resonate with us, and help you understand it, help you see how you can use it as a tool to connect with your own body's awareness and wisdom. If you're interested, I want to invite you to visit my website. Go to anandalik.com/human design to learn more about how we can work together. I offer 2 types of readings. There's a basic reading, and then there's a more advanced reading once you have an understanding of human design. Check it out. There's also a video that walks you through my own human design experience and gives you some basic information about human design. There are other podcast episodes for the Thriving Mindfully podcast that you can check out. Just go to anandalik.com/podcast, or wherever you find this podcast, you can look and see in the archive the human design episodes. So I look forward to connecting with you more about human design. Thanks for tuning in to the Thriving Mindfully podcast. If you're ready to be inspired and empowered with my coaching support, join me in the Thriving Mindfully Academy. Visit anandalik.com/academy. Now, if you're ready to dive deeper and move past your comfort zone with my one-on-one coaching program, book a discovery call with me today. Visit anandalik.com. If you need something juicy to read, check out my 3 mindfulness books: Love's Troubadours, a self-love and yoga-inspired novel; That Which Awakens Me, a mindful creativity memoir; and Digital Sisterhood, a mindful technology memoir. Go to anandalik.com/books. All of my books are available on Amazon.com. Well, that about wraps us up. And as I always like to say, may we all continue to embrace thriving mindfully in everything that we think, feel, say, and do. See you next time.